Greetings, beautiful beings. I hope you all are drinking water and taking care of yourself. I hope that the day is treating you well. This title may be wrong, so what it may say we're talking about, we probably won't be talking about, but it's relevant. So treating you well. This title may be wrong, so what it may say we're talking about, we probably won't be talking about, but it's relevant. So today is the end of a Mercury retrograde. A lot of us have been experiencing some ups, some downs, energy low. My friend Jelly calls it ascending. What does she call it? Symptoms, ascension symptoms. Like some of us that are feelers that feel the world differently have been feeling all the things that the planets are doing, the shifts. There's a lot of talk around, elections and all these things happening. I recognize I don't always talk to people about not wearing shoes and how I haven't worn shoes for 9 years. And the reason why this is important because it's really crafted how I view things. So not wearing shoes for 9 years in the United States, in several different cities. I have traveled abroad. I've been on planes, trains. I've done disaster relief work. I haven't worn a shoe on my foot, I want to say probably 4 years. And if I have to put something on my feet, they're handmade moccasins. And I've only had to do that once. I won't say once, but a couple of times when I'm flying, they'll ask me to put on something on my feet to protect them. So I've done that. And the moccasins, again, they're handmade. They're made out of leather and natural, so I can still feel the energy of the earth. It's really important for me as someone who doesn't wear shoes. It's a spiritual connection. It's not just the health of not wearing shoes. So you all can Google not wearing shoes. You can see the benefits of what they call barefooting. You can see the benefits of what they are saying earthing is or grounding is. When I started without shoes 9 years ago, those words wasn't a thing. I wasn't not wearing shoes for the health benefits of it. I just stopped wearing shoes because I didn't want to wear shoes. I wanted an opportunity to see what life was like without shoes. And we've been conditioned to believe a lot of things. I like to call it colonized consciousness. No matter where we are in the world, we've been colonized to believe certain things. We have been conditioned to believe that we have to live a certain way or move a certain way. How we heal, how we engage with ourselves is usually based off of the powers that be that taught us in our school systems, in our religions, in our homes. They told us that we have to walk a certain way, and based off of what I like to call artificial constructs, many of us are tied to these ideologies that don't allow us to be our true selves. And what I mean by that is artificial constructs is as simple as being mother, father, brother, sister, CEO, lover. All of these constructs have labels, terms, and limiting conditions. So we tend to not care for ourselves or dive deeper into loving ourselves because of whatever the societal norm, however we've been colonized to think. So not wearing shoes has actually allowed me to expand my consciousness in ways where I ask myself why I believe, who taught me that, who wrote that in. So, for example, if you believe that people that look a certain way, think a certain way, why? Why do you believe that if a person is in that body type, or if that person is called a certain thing, then they must act that way? We live a very limited life when it comes to our consciousness and how we decide to move. So today, not wearing shoes has allowed me to train. I don't want to say train. I guide people into remembering the ways that our ancestors used to be. Our ancestors used to work with the moon. Our ancestors used to work with seasons. Our ancestors used to work with each other. Our ancestors used to connect and reflect with one another. And then when we became colonized, we tend to not do those things. We tend to, whether we're working just with our own family or just our individual selves, we are not looking at where we're walking. We're not thinking about how our decisions are causing ourselves or others harm. We tend to do things because people in our families say that we should do them, people in our households, people in our jobs. But what is it that you want? Who are you? Why are you the way that you are? And really asking yourself that and answering it. How many times a day do you check in with yourself and ask yourself, is this what I need? Not wearing shoes has really taught me different things. So the first thing is, of course, watch where I step, right? But not from the place of I'm always looking down, but from the sense of is what's the world around me have to give, while I'm also being conscious of where I'm walking. And why do I say that? Why am I pushing this shifting the consciousness? Well, one, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm always going to be inviting us to shift how we see things and why we see things. Two, not wearing shoes has provided me with the opportunity to see that the world is unlimited. Like the power of the earth is all around us. The energy of our ancestors are all around us, and we don't have to do what societal norms say we have to. We don't. As long as we're not harming ourselves, each other, and the planet, we can choose new ways of being and moving that allow us to shift as individuals and honor that we too are abundant. We are not limited beings. We are not limited to what our families say. We're not limited to what society says. We're not limited to anything except what we believe we are limited to. And we're actually infinite beings. And this new moon, what would it look like for you to engage in practices that allow you to tap into your unlimitedness? This new moon, what would it look like for you to invite in abundance and be thankful for the abundance all around you? How often do you wake up in the day just being thankful for the abundance around you, being thankful for where you sleep, what you eat? How often are you grounding yourself in the here and the now, not just with your breath, but with the soles of your feet? I learned to bear my soul, this soul here, by bearing my soul. Taking off my shoes has really allowed me to be more, what they say, vulnerable. But I don't think it's vulnerability. I think it's just us being our true, authentic selves. We're not here to be shut off. We're not here on this planet to be eye centric. Yes, we are here to take care of ourselves, because if we're caring for the people, we're the most important person. But how many of us are often grounding ourselves in this beautiful knowing that you have everything you need? That the world is what you say it is. If you believe that there's scarcity in this world and that nothing's going to change, well, guess what? In your world is scarcity, and in your world, nothing is going to change. I'm inviting you to just be in this space of knowing you are not alone. And this new moon, I invite you to do more grounding. Place your hands on the earth, place your feet on the earth. If you haven't been following me for a long time, that's cool. You can check some of my videos. They call me the Barefoot Empress. I haven't worn shoes through law school. I haven't worn shoes while leading marches. I've written policy changes. I have done all of the things. I've been in the desert. I've been in the snow. I have done so many things that people say that you cannot do, well, with shoes on. And I've done them, but I've done them without them. And if I can do them, then I know that you can do whatever your version of taking your shoes off. What does freedom look like to you this new moon? How do you free yourself from thoughts that are causing you to not celebrate yourself? How do you free yourself from thoughts and words that don't allow you to love on yourself and be kind to yourself? Because it's real. We can't ask the world for anything that we're not willing to give to ourselves. So I'm inviting you this new moon, today and all the days, to check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what are the things that you can do differently that fills your cup? Well, how do you move from a place of non-harm? How do you ground yourself in love and kindness for yourself? I'm inviting you to take your shoes off. I already have mine off. They're always off. 9 years, I promise you. And I have this beautiful callus. It takes me everywhere. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, not wearing shoes has made me healthier. It is why I don't get sick. It is why I haven't lost my mind. And what I mean by losing my mind is I've gone through some really hard things like death, movement, lack of funds, all of it at once. But grounding in the earth has allowed me to remember I'm not alone. I have everything that I need. I'm surrounded by abundance, and it regulates my nervous system. So I'm not in fight, flight, freeze response in situations where I probably would be if I wasn't grounded. So I'm just inviting you to do your research. If you don't believe me, look it up. And this new moon, try grounding. Try grounding in your greatness. Allow yourself to take 3 deep breaths and bring yourself into the knowing that everything you need is around you. Everything that you need is within you. You have it. You just have to remember. We just have to remember. We have to remember that we are these great beings, that we can manifest the reality that we're seeking. And we don't have to go outside ourselves to see ourselves. You know you. You are amazing. So again, this is a simple video of me sharing my journey without wearing shoes, my journey of 9 years of not wearing shoes, and inviting you for this new moon to try it. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I love talking about this journey. I love talking about what I've learned. Um, I learned beautiful lessons about perspective, about mindfulness. I was already engaging in mindful practices. I already practiced Buddhism, and then not wearing shoes really catapulted me into Buddhist practices. And I am really connected with myself and the planet and other living beings. I really do believe that we can be one and that we are one. And one of the ways that we can feel that oneness is just taking our shoes off and being in the earth. I hope that you all are drinking water. I hope that you all are in this energy of the Mercury retrograde ending and this newness beginning, and that newness beginning